Hi, and welcome back to our Read Aloud time. This week, we've been looking at the different letters that the crayons have written in our story, The Day the Crayons Came Home. Well, today, we are going to look at just one letter and look at each part of the letter. Now, before I read this letter, I want you to be looking for words that will tell you whether this crayon thinks that Duncan is a friend or someone important. I want you to look for words that will tell you how this crayon is feeling. And I want you to look at the closing. What word tells you how the crayon is feeling in the closing? Let's read it together. Dear Mr. Duncan. Something tells me right there how the crayon thinks Mr. Duncan is, whether he thinks he's a friend or if he's important. Which one do you think it is? I agree. I think he thinks Duncan is important because he uses the greeting dear and he uses Mr. in front of Duncan. Let's keep reading and see if we can find out how this crayon is feeling. I know I'm not your crayon. I know I belong to your baby brother. But I can't take him anymore. That sentence tells me a little bit about how he's feeling. Let's keep reading. In the last week alone, he's bitten the top of my head, put me in the cat's nose, drawn on the wall, and tried to color rubbish with me. The worst part is he is a terrible artist. Another word in there tells me how he's feeling. He capitalized the word worst, and he sounds like he's upset. Let's keep reading. I can't tell what his drawings are. Donkeys? Monkeys? Donkey monkeys? Picasso said every child is an artist, but I don't know. I don't think he met your brother. Please rescue me. Ooh, right there tells me what he wants. Your desperate friend. Big, chunky toddler crayon. Okay, there's a lot in this letter alone. We looked at the greeting together and we saw how he used Mr. and Dear to tell Duncan that he's important. We stopped at the very beginning and saw that. Then, as we read the body of the letter, we saw how desperate and sad and even upset this crayon is. He really is having a hard time working with Duncan's brother. He said the worst part is that he's a terrible artist. That sounds like he's upset and he's frustrated because the crayon wants to be used to draw pretty pictures. We also see that he says, please rescue me. He sounds like he's upset with where he is and he's sad with where he is because he doesn't want to be there anymore. This crayon is not happy. He also said in this that he was bitten, he was put in a cat's nose, and he was used to draw something he didn't want to be used for. So this crayon does not sound like he's having a good time at all. Then I told you to look at the closing. He said, your desperate friend. Does that sound like a crayon who is doing well or a crayon who is not doing well? I agree. It sounds like a crayon who is not doing well. I agree. Now, when you go to read the different letters in this book or you go to read your book, look for some of those big words. that will tell you how that character's feeling. Sometimes they won't say it right out there. Like when we read one of the sentences, it said that he had been bitten, he had been put in a cat's nose, and he was colored rubbish. But we could tell that he was not happy because that sounded like things he didn't want to do. So when you go practice your reading here in a minute, I want you to be thinking about how your character continues to feel and if there are ways for us to find out how our character is feeling without them saying it. All right, kiddos, that's what I have for you today, and I look forward to tomorrow on our Flashlight Friday day for looking at some more letters. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you then. Bye.